All right, folks, thank you for joining me today. It is the 2-year anniversary of the Ripple lawsuit being filed 2 years ago on the 22nd of December in 2020. Whole lot of twos. That master builder, master destroyer number, whatever that means to you, it definitely means something to them. We're going to break it all down for you guys today in this session. Quick update back in the studio. Let's get it fired up. Like I said, 2-year anniversary of the Ripple versus SEC lawsuit. Citizen of the Future interview dropping at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time tonight on this channel. Make sure you guys hit the notification bell. Make sure you subscribe here on YouTube so you don't miss any of our content. Interview goes live tonight at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's 8 on the East Coast for you guys. Citizen of the Future Utility Theory. Massive session. I just let him go off and do his thing. He just lit it up for about an hour and a half. It's a fatty one, deep dive. We cover it all, and definitely going to make sure you guys get tapped in for that one, along with the XDC deep dive going to be dropping for the community on Christmas. My gift to you. We're going to be doing the XDC deep dive on Christmas Day, so be ready for that one. And then it's just getting started here back in the studio. We're getting back in action here. Quick update for you guys tonight. I'm really looking forward to this opportunity. Thank you so much for joining me. Now, at the time of this recording, let's get it started. Let's get it rolling. We got bullish content. Yeah, we're gonna, we partner up the bad news with an opportunity here and the strategies that we're using to execute on our plan right now as we speak. YouTube, thank you for joining me. Let's get it fired up, okay? So Bitcoin's at 16,000, just under 17K right now, hanging out. ETH under 1,200, and our XRP's back at 34.44. So that's an interesting price point here to continue dollar cost averaging for people like myself. I'm considering actually moving back in here probably over the next month or so. We're watching this one closely, and I'll give you guys a full update on the XRP price chart. We have actually an interesting masterpiece number 4 to show you guys, is what Dark Defender called this work of art that he put together. So we'll be covering that at the end of this session. I see that Scott Close hit us with a 20 spot super chat. That is absolutely massive. Thank you, Scott. People are freaking out because they're losing money. LOL. Crazy chart watchers. Yeah, that's the thing, is we understand the charts, and unemotionally shorting the hell out of Bitcoin, as we knew it was just the bear market wasn't over, and we knew when we were going to watch that situation play out. So we were shorting Bitcoin, and we've continued to dollar cost average into our utility positions that we believe will run the new financial system. Let's get right on into it, guys. Let's get it rolling. This one. Serious situations right now on the world stage from Arnaud Bertrand. So all pretty much at the same time, Putin goes to Belarus to see Lukashenko in person. Medvedev goes to China to see Xi in person. And Zelensky goes to Washington to see Biden in person. All for the first time since the start of the war. Yep, something is up, folks. Let's watch this one closely, continuing to pray for not only the people of Ukraine, but anyone getting caught up in these world stage kinetic wars that have been taking place here. Watching it closely. Jim Rickards. I've studied nuclear war fighting for 53 years. Every expert from Herman Kahn to Albert Wolstetter says don't escalate. Biden is escalating without limit, so it's not complicated. Get ready for a nuclear war. Yesterday, President Joe Biden says, I'm announcing the next tranche of security, quote unquote, security assistance to Ukraine. A $1.85 billion package that includes equipment and ammunition contracts and a Patriot missile battery that we will train forces to operate as part of our efforts to strengthen Ukrainian air defenses. The escalations continue. Peter Schiff. Congress approved $45 billion for the Ukraine, raising total aid to $113 billion. Pause. Makes me want to throw up. 113 billion now that we've been sponsoring Ukraine with, or about 2.5 thousand per Ukrainian. For a family of 4, that's 10K, about twice the average household income. U.S. equivalent of 140,000. With that kind of incentive to keep fighting, this war may never end. Incredible. 113 billion to Ukraine, and now we're giving them a little bit more advanced weapons of war with the Patriot missiles. And back home, our country's running up trillion-dollar deficits every single year. Massive amount of spending that they're trying to push down our throat. Here's one of the few real ones, Rand Paul, which I don't agree with him on everything. But let's check out what Rand Paul here has to say in regards to this omnibus spending bill here that they're trying to ram down our throats.
I brought with me the Omni, 4,155 pages. When was it produced? In the dead of the night, 1:30 in the morning when it was released. Now, people argue that it's conservatives' fault. You don't have the Christmas spirit. Somehow you're holding up government. Well, whose job is it to produce this? The people in charge of spending, the people in charge of both of the parties. When did they know that this would be necessary? Well, it's in the law, September 30th. You got 9 months, almost 10 months, to produce a plan, to have a spending plan. They weren't ready on September 30th, so they voted themselves 90 more days. They weren't ready last week either, so they voted themselves another week. And now we have it at 1:30 in the morning this morning. But what's the clamor? The clamor is to vote. Vote now. Let's get it done. Why are you standing in the way of spending? Well, the real question is this. What is more dangerous? What is more dangerous to the country? $1.1 trillion in new debt, or as Republican leadership likes to say, oh, but it's a win. It's a big win. We're getting $45 billion for the military. So which is more important? Which threatens the country more? Are we at risk for being invaded by a foreign power if we don't put $45 billion into the military? Or are we more at risk by adding to a $31 trillion debt? I think the greatest risk to our national...
Hold up, pause. Remember, $31 trillion debt, just the tip of the iceberg. Over $100 trillion in unfunded liabilities. Our country is completely bust as we report the worst year on record for the bond market, which is how they fund our debt. Nobody wants to buy the shit anymore. They've destroyed our country and they're stealing the wealth of this people. Just completely hijacked this country, and it is completely criminal. Let Rand finish here.
National security is our debt. The process stinks. It's an abomination. It's a no good, rotten way to run your government. $6 trillion entity, and they want 24 hours to process this, and then they want to go forward. I will be demanding 2 amendments. One, that this goes against the budget rules. The pay-go rules say you can't do this. You can't have all this new spending unless it's offset. We will also be demanding that the pay-go rules are increased. Instead of taking 60 votes to evade the rules, we're going to ask that it be a 2/3 vote to evade the rules. The American people don't want this. They're sick and tired of it. They're paying for it through the nose with inflation. Adding $1 trillion to the deficit will simply fuel the fires that are consuming our wages and consuming our retirement plans. It's a terrible system. Someone needs to stand up. We're standing up, and we're going to say no.
Well, like I said, it's good to see someone stepping up, and it's truly incredible what they've been doing here with this country. They give us this 4,000-page spending bill in the middle of the night, and they say, get this passed, within 24 hours, whatever it is, after they've had all this time to know. They know every year when the budget is up at the end of September, right? But what they're trying to do and what they're trying to get away with is the absolute theft of this country. Every opportunity that we had that made this country great, they are trying to destroy it. This country is one of the last stands of the free people of humanity up against this agenda. Some may call it I should not continue. And I'm just going to leave it at that. You guys know the deal. This is why we are here every single day calling these guys out and figuring out what we can do. Incredible. Elon the Musk, what's he doing? Well, he's shaking it up for sure. Senator Schumer and Leader McConnell, he tags both these sellouts, Schumer and McConnell, both the left and the right, the mainstream, push through the agenda, folks, the leaders of our political parties here. The public has spoken. They are overwhelmingly against this giant spending bill. Now, obviously, Elon the Musk Twitter poll doesn't mean that much, or does it? See, I would contest here that this is where we're moving forward here, democratizing our information through the internet, but then we got to be able to have the conversation, which is so important that Twitter, that platform is being saved, right? Whether you like Elon the Musk or not, or you like Tesla or not, it doesn't matter. What he's doing with the platform is moving it in the right direction, which is allowing us to have this conversation. I should be able to call out both sides, Mitch McConnell, Schumer, both sellouts, both parties, right? I should be able to talk about the operation that took place over the last 2 years and how the last 2 years let them open up Pandora's box as far as what our government could get away with. Let's continue on, though. I forgot to add this one. The political stage, the world stage bullshit is just unbelievable, folks. Check it out. So we fight so hard to get Trump's tax returns, and what do we find? Here they are. The much anticipated Trump tax returns. We got to get this big orange guy. 2015, $31 million loss, $641,000 paid in taxes. 2016, $32 million loss, $750 paid in taxes. $12 million loss in 2017, $750 paid in taxes. 2018, $24 million gain, $1 million paid in taxes. 2019, $4.4 million gain, $133,000 paid. 2020, $4.8 million loss, $0 paid. So they got him 1 year. He didn't pay any taxes in 2020, which does make him smart, which means that he's doing what the tax code incentivizes American people to do. Run businesses, invest in real estate, invest in new technology, try to move humanity forward. You pay no taxes. Now, of course, you have to pay all these other taxes as well that they get us on. Whether that's, my state sales tax, my local taxes. There's so many taxes, right? As you're seeing the property taxes starting to go up. And this all is because our government, as we just showed you guys, they just continue to pass $1 trillion spending, $1 trillion deficits, $113 billion to Ukraine, while our country just gets gutted. And to me, this isn't political. And I mean, only a doofus moron would think that they were going to get something out of Trump's tax returns. How stupid can you be? He's a businessman who invests in real estate, the most tax-favored asset in the tax code, which is not political. Any one of us can apply the same strategies to reduce our taxes. And all of us across the board should be fighting to reduce taxes, to eliminate taxes, to eliminate three-letter agencies that have sold out this country. That is not political. The corruption is blatant. The agenda is evil. And the real ones know. The real ones can see it. The doofus moron that thought he was going to get something from Trump's tax returns is losing because they're focused on a situation that's external from theirs. They have no control, and they're told what to think by a mainstream media, completely setting them up for the slaughter, which brings us to the greatest transfer of wealth in world history, folks. This is an incredible opportunity. Let's continue on. Move on into the cryptocurrency update. Eleanor Terry, quite a bold move from Paxful CEO, removing Ethereum from its platform, which currently serves over 11 million people. Ray Paxful cites, quote, integrity over revenue for the move, calling Ethereum centralized and its tokens scams. I think that these guys are getting word that something is coming down the pipe here. Something major. Gary Gensler, they just announced a new lawsuit against Thor with the SEC. Against Thor. Revenue is nice, but integrity trumps all, right? So basically, he's getting rid of these. Ethereum switched from proof of work to proof of stake. Proof of work is the innovation that makes Bitcoin the only honest money there is, whereas proof of stake has rendered Ethereum essentially a digital form of fiat. Exactly, and there is no limited supply on Ethereum. It's an inflationary currency with no agreed upon or set cap on Ethereum. Now, the proof of stake, I think, made it less inflationary, less is getting created, right? But it is essentially a digital form of fiat, centralized and controlled, right? Ethereum is not decentralized. It is controlled by a small group of people, and one day you will need permission to use it, which obviously the biggest stakeholders control that network, and it's centralized. It was already pretty much centralized with the miners in that country over there that Vitalik got offended because we said that. He's still mad and offended at the Ripple people for calling out that all of the mining was taking place in a country that is just doesn't hold very great standards. Ethereum had some utility in real use cases such as credit and lending, but it thrives because of tokenization. The tokens that Ethereum has spawned have been scams that have robbed people of billions. They have stolen valuable momentum away from Bitcoin and cost us years on our mission. So I would agree with, other than Bitcoin being the only honest money there is, right? We understand that Bitcoin, doing its little deal, right, kind of irrelevant as far as moving the payments infrastructure. It's not really doing what it was set out to do, but some Bitcoin bros still believe in it, and they got their community, and they can do whatever they want. They want to hold their Bitcoin. They want to, try to lightning it up with the Lightning Network that has been a failure. Then they can do whatever they want with their Bitcoin. But I do agree. This is where I do agree with some of these Bitcoin maxis in calling out Ethereum, because we can agree on that. Ethereum is corrupt, and a lot of the 99% of the cryptos that were built on Ethereum made Ethereum prop it up and get it to the price that it did. And think of how rich these guys got off of the normal person getting suckered into another shitcoin, right? And then literally holding back American cryptocurrency innovation because they made sure that they had a free pass monopoly with Bill Hinman, the SEC, and the government regulators. Obviously partnering up with JP Morgan and some of the old Wall Street boys and girls to make sure that they had that free pass monopoly and that they were going to be able to get that. I mean, they created the token factory and they pumped the hell out of their own bags. Ethereum 2.0, as we called it out, we knew it was going to be one of the biggest flops in cryptocurrency history, and absolutely that was the case. Now, I do see we got another 20 spot here from Swole 1974. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you. Question: once the full utility market cap kicks in, will there be such extreme highs and lows like now, or will it be a steady rise up with ISO tokens? Talking about XRP, XLM because of how much they will be used. Yeah, so in regards to utility kicking in, don't think of market cap, think of liquidity value. Okay, so in regards to XRP, XLM, and other liquidity utility cases, we're looking at liquidity value versus market cap. The market cap is used for traditional stocks, commodities, and basically bonds to kind of calculate how much value is in a commodity, in a network, not a network, in a commodity, in a stock, in equity or a bond. Whereas liquidity value would be the value of the liquidity of a network, of a liquidity, like basically an XRP's use case of ODL. What's the liquidity value of ODL going to be? So that's a shift in thinking that we have to have. But to your question, yes, I don't think that we're going to be having the drastic swings, and we're going to be at a much higher price because that liquidity value is going to make the $3 trillion that the overall market cap of crypto hit this last bull run that we were all celebrating. It's going to make that look like a joke because it's going to be settling that daily on these networks. That's what the liquidity value is going to be on some of these networks, these distributed ledger technologies that are ISO compliant and working with the central bankers and basically the financial institutions that move those trillions of dollars daily. So that's why it's always been the most interesting use case utility for me, because it's the biggest and highest value amount. I don't care about blockchain gaming because some guys playing the game is only going to be so big of a space, of a community, of a problem to solve. On the world scale, that value, that problem of solving the boredom of us gamers, that's not a very big problem compared to 6 trillion daily, 20 trillion daily, quadrillions of dollars of derivatives. So the liquidity value of those settlement layers is massive. And if we just get a chunk of that, we're in a whole new reality for these cryptocurrencies, right? Right. So we're looking at currencies, basically bridge currencies that are going to settle trillions of dollars daily. Yeah, it's going to be massive, but it's completely different from market cap. Completely different from market cap. And that's where people get confused. I'm going to be dropping a video specifically on that. I just explained it. I've been kind of explaining it in my lives, but I'm going to make a whole separate video, market cap versus liquidity value, where I'll explain this in depth and I'll do the calculations for liquidity value and actually figuring out, kind of a closer calculation. But once again, still speculation. But yeah, to answer your question, Swole, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. Let's get it rolling, guys. Thank you so much. Yeah, so this was Paxful here, removing Ethereum. That's pretty major. People are starting to call out Ethereum, which is good to see for sure. Now we got Eleanor Tarrant. The SEC government's general counsel, Dan Berkovitz, is stepping down and will be replaced by Principal Deputy General Counsel Megan Barbero, effective January 31st. So another one bites the dust. General counsel for the SEC stepping down. See you later. Okay. And before joining the SEC, served as Deputy General Counsel for the U.S. House of Representatives, where she managed strategic litigation for the House. Strategic litigation. Yeah, and the SEC definitely has a strategy with their litigation tactics, as you're seeing going after one of the biggest and best, Ripple, even though they really didn't even have a case. 2 years ago, like I said, we are at the 2-year anniversary. This tweet here from Brad Garlinghouse came out a day before. Remember, Brad Garlinghouse gave us the heads up the day before and said, today the SEC voted to attack crypto. Chairman Jay Clayton, in his final act, is picking winners and trying to limit U.S. innovation in the crypto industry to BTC and Ethereum. We know crypto and blockchain technologies aren't going anywhere. Ripple has and will continue to use XRP because it's the best digital asset for payments. Speed, cost, scalability, and energy efficiency. It's traded on 200 plus exchanges globally and will continue to thrive. The SEC, out of step with the other G20 countries and the rest of the US government, should not be able to cherry pick what innovation looks like, especially when their decision directly benefits China. Make no mistake, we are ready to fight and win. This battle is just beginning. The final act, and that's exactly what Jay Clayton was, an actor on the world stage, filing this lawsuit on his last day in office 2 years later. And the fear is real, as Digital Asset Investor says here. We still have people that think that Ripple's never going to break all-time high, and people that think that, XRP is an unregistered security, which is just truly incredible to see when we look at the true facts that have been brought forward in this lawsuit. The case is very clear. Today's XRP, definitely a currency, and some of the sales they might have been able to get Ripple on as offering of a security, but there is no way that today's XRP meets the definition, not even close. No prongs of the Howey test can be met. But these guys are scared. This guy, Tyler Ape Durden, whoever he is, Ripple coin will never break its all-time high. Another one of these guys, and this guy, he's got, 50,000 followers. Yeah, he's got his little YouTube. Yeah, I've seen his Twitter profile before. Just another one of these guys, right? They're into all these other things that just quite simply I don't think are as great of a solution as whatever else they're offering up. Whether you think some of these other cryptos are going to get something done or not. I would agree that some of them look interesting, right? Some of them definitely look interesting, but the main, the Bitcoin, Ethereum, proof of work maxis. These are the guys that have the real fear within them, and they are the ones that are the most scared of this potential here that XRP has. Once it has clarity, you fire up the utility. The utility's massive, much bigger utility than creating a token factory for the space to build Ponzi schemes upon. So that's what they're worried about, and it's interesting, right? We're at peak FUD in regards to XRP, which means we must be getting close. As far as the lawsuit, we might be here for another year, and I'm telling myself that so that I don't get let down when we are here next year on the 3-year anniversary of the Ripple versus SEC lawsuit, and it still isn't completed, right? Or it gets appealed and it's going to go to the next court, or it's going to make its journey to the Supreme Court, and we're going to be here till 2025. Doesn't matter. The case is very clear to me. And I really do believe that this case is going to be settled up, in my opinion, which tells us that would be coming relatively soon here. Remember, we have a lot of people that are stepping aside, stepping down within our Congress. And we also have, there's an interesting Supreme Court case that's on the docket as well. There's some interesting things that are coming out of the Supreme Court right now as we speak. But there's a lot of things that they're trying to jam through before this session ends, right? And so they've technically gone to break, I believe. I don't know if they were able to get that spending bill passed, if they're going to have a special session, but they were supposed to be done by the 21st, and I don't know when they are going to. I think they do come back here, but I know Senator Toomey's one of them that's going to be gone by the 3rd of January. He's retiring. So I think they still have some time to pass some things before they head on out. But the point being, watch for some things to happen here. And I think the settlement could happen at any time too. And I do believe that it is related. You look at the people that went against the SEC, the people within the SEC that went against Ripple Well, Gary Gensler was the CFO of Hillary. Well, I shouldn't say her name. He was the CFO of a presidential campaign that lost, but did some interesting things. And I think it's still being investigated. I think it's still coming to the light. And it's all part of a darkness to light moment in our history of our country. And we're against some evil people, definitely criminally corrupt. And so this is why we got to stay so vigilant. We got to call them out. And it's interesting, utility theory, the conversation that I had with him, Citizen of the Future, before we got on, he was showing me that the dark side of his mind map and all of the connections. And it's so much more than just FTX and that cabal exchange. It goes so much deeper than that. But he's now put this together, and it's just incredible to see how the citizen journalists, the citizen community, the decentralized internet, Twitter, we've been able to just get on these guys and just relentless with our research and the amount of pressure that we got on them. And eventually we will win this lawsuit. And eventually I hope that all truth will be revealed in regards to what's been taking place in our country. It just came out that basically the government was involved in taking out JFK, which many of us suspected, right? But it really just came out and it's now been kind of proven. And it basically hasn't even hit the mainstream, right? It wasn't even talked about by mainstream, and it kind of just was glossed over for, a 24-hour period on Twitter, and now it's just gone, right? And that was in the 60s. So think about where they're at now, and the operations that they're running now, the psychological warfare that they're running against us now. That's what we're trying to cut through. It's obvious that the mainstream's lying to us, but where I think my role is breaking down, using discernment through the psychological operation that's being ran against our community, not just the XRP community, but anybody who's trying to figure out our world, our reality, government, politics, money, currency, debt, the Federal Reserve, the banking cartel, and then you guys know where the rabbit hole goes. Now, we got to continue on here before we 400 in the chat, YouTube. If you haven't already, please smash that thumbs up for me and let's keep it rolling. So now we have the FDIC chairman on the payment system. Guys, this is the FDIC. Remember, the insurance for our whole banking industry and the banking in this country. That FDIC insurance covers up to, $250,000 within your bank account is backed by this FDIC. And this is the chairman on the payments system. Let's check this one out, folks.
Developed agencies. Finally, there may be benefits associated with a payment stablecoin, especially to the extent that it fosters an inclusive real-time payment system. However, as I indicated, there are important risks and policy concerns that will need to be taken into consideration before a payment stablecoin system is developed. And to the extent that a payment stablecoin system is developed, it should be designed in a manner that complements the Federal Reserve's FedNow system and the potential future development of a U.S. central bank digital currency. Those are my thoughts for today. Agencies.
There you go. Right. So the new payment system, he says, but this is where it's interesting. He says, if there's a payment system already developed, it must be designed to complement the Federal Reserve FedNow system and potential US CBDC. Now we know, right, we have Ripple that is ISO compliant, which matters, right, has the real-time payments settlement done in 3 to 5 seconds. So that's done, right? And then we know that they're working on the digital dollar project as well. So we know that there is a payment system already developed, and it is designed to complement the Federal Reserve's FedNow system, and it is designated and ready to help the United States central bank digital currency, and not only provide liquidity for the U.S. CBDC, but is ready to provide liquidity, tapping it in for cross-border payments and other markets as well. Securities, derivatives, commodities, tokenizing a whole internet of value. And this is what's interesting. These guys are just dropping the snippets, right? They're dropping these little pieces, confirming that the new payment system's here. It's real-time payments. It's everything that we've been researching, everything that we've been seeing as years ahead of the time frame here, right? And just now all these old traditional players, whether it's the old school banks, whether it's the FDIC now, they're all across the board coming out and they're reading the same script, which is all about real-time payments, updating for Fed Now, being ready. Can we complement a CBDC? If it already exists, it's like, yeah, we already know. Ripple said we can create your CBDC in one day. Ripple created a toolkit to create the CBDC in one day for any central bank. And oh, by the way, we will build out a private ledger for you, or you can tap into the one that we've already started on the back end, right? And this is the joke, right? That's being made and they're starting to drop it for the masses to see, but most people aren't even looking. They're not listening to statements made by the FDIC chairman, right? Who cares? But this community that's been tapped in over the target in years ahead, I think it's going to handsomely pay off with this utility bull run that we're about to see. After all of this gets set right, these guys are telling you what's coming. And this is further confirmation right here in this one right here. From Charles Gasparino and Eleanor Terrett's new article, Brian Moynihan added to shortlist to replace Yellen at the Treasury. So yeah, this is an article from Charles Gasparino, and we already covered this from Charles, but once again, Bank of America, an early 2016 Ripple partner, right? And then we also heard at the Swell conference that we just had in London, where they're saying that basically Bank of America is prepared to have a competitive advantage once they get this case out of the way and clarity on XRP. They plan to have a competitive advantage using on-demand liquidity, which settles in XRP after this case is over. So right here, you got the Bank of America CEO, just another connection. CEO of Bank of America going to replace Janet No-Telling Yellen as the Secretary of the Treasury. This guy has been working with Ripple since 2016. Ready to flip the switch. Right? Now, got a couple here from Gold Telegraph. After March 2020, we all watched the world's largest expansion of central bank balance sheets in history. Now we are watching liquidity get drained alongside absolute chaos. Now we are watching liquidity get drained alongside absolute chaos in the crypto market as these very same central banks stockpile gold and work on central bank digital currencies. Exactly. So like I've been saying, they are stockpiling record amounts of gold and they are working with Ripple and other, basically there's a few other there's a few other main crypto utilities that are actually having the conversation with these central banks, primarily. So that's going to be Ripple, that's going to be Stellar, that's going to be Quant, that's going to be Algorand, and there may be a couple others as well that I'm missing, but those are like the main 4 or 5 that we've seen are on the digital euro, digital pound, digital dollar. We're seeing that they're having these conversations, right? And that's important because we want to see that what we've invested in is actually at the table that matters, right? On top of that, though, they tell us not to invest in gold or silver, right? They tell us, the traditional portfolio keeps you in that Wall Street machine, stocks, bonds, equities, right? Meanwhile, we have record amount of gold being stockpiled by these central banks. That's an interesting dichotomy there. Now we have this one too, which I think is absolutely major. Zimbabwe has banned the export of unprocessed raw lithium. The country has the largest lithium reserves in Africa. Lithium has surged more than 1,100% in the past 2 years. There's an interesting thing that's happening with commodities too, and those that have control of the commodities. Specifically, Zimbabwe making this move here to stop exporting their lithium, the largest lithium reserves in Africa. But then we also know that Zimbabwe just integrated gold as part of their currency reset over there as well. For those of you guys that didn't know, right? They've now started to implement gold as part of their currency reset. Now they got a new trade deal here where they're not going to be exporting their lithium; they're keeping it. And we've seen the price of lithium go up 1,000%. So you're seeing that the commodities are ready to make 1,000% moves. So not only is gold and silver interesting to me, I think that the commodities have been kind of an interesting play over the past couple of years here too. And then just seeing how they've been suppressed. And then when they do break out, like in this case, lithium, just going nuts, 1,100%, right? And so for me right now, this is why I've been stockpiling a little bit of silver here. I got a little bit of silver, a little bit of precious metal, And then that's why I partnered up with my people here that'll help you roll over your 401k retirement account too. So you guys know that link's down below for the precious metals as well. But this is interesting to see the moves, the size of moves here that are being made here in the commodities, and how they're stockpiling gold and also implementing it into their currency reset. So this is what we've been waiting for, folks, and it is happening. Zimbabwe getting it done here. And we've talked about this, right? About how these other countries have to move faster. It's not optional to do a little CBDC test, to do a little trial. It's like, no, it's hyperinflation. You got to take a wheelbarrow of cash to the supermarket to buy a loaf of bread. That's the crisis. There's no gas at the pumps because either they've ran out of dollars or they're ditching the dollar. And I think that, you're going to see them. They're going to get tight with that supply, but then they're going to decide, we don't want to sell our lithium for US dollars, but we'll sell our lithium for asset-backed currencies, whether that's Russia, China's, or somebody else's. We want real value in return. We want gold, or asset-backed currencies that could be backed by gold or other assets as well. XRP could be one too. Now, amidst all this crypto chaos, Brazil, folks. Now remember, last year, Ripple and Central Bank of Brazil were having they were disclosed meetings, but they were secretive meetings. That's what they were called. Secretive meetings between Ripple and Central Bank of Brazil going back over a year now. And then we get the news today. Brazil president signs bill to regulate cryptocurrency in the country. Let's check this one out, folks. Now, this one's from the block. Brazil cryptocurrency regulation set to become law at midnight. The country has been at the forefront of digital payments. Cryptocurrency regulation in Brazil is poised to become law at midnight local time. The bill, which was approved by the Chamber of Deputies 2 weeks ago, aims to, it's okay. Brazil has been at the forefront of digital payment innovations, creating PIX, PIX, a simple, almost free instant payment system that has revolutionized the industry. The central bank also has a digital currency that is currently testing and plans to issue in 2024. A regulator must also be appointed for the sector, and the industry expects it to be the Brazilian central bank, according to Block News. The proposed law also allows public institutions to hold crypto. So these institutions will now be able to hold crypto. They are working. Brazil's central bank is set to be the industry regulator. And they were having secretive meetings with Ripple just over a year ago now. Okay. Now, we talked about this too. We just had the corridors firing up for on-demand liquidity in Brazil as well. Okay. So Ripple got the green light there in Brazil. We know they've been working with some of the biggest banks and financial institutions within the country. And then Brazil just went hot. Brazil just went live. They flipped the switch, and now it is good to go, folks. It just got adopted, and all systems are a go. Fire up the liquidity, and it's major. Okay? We'll continue to watch that one. Now, here back into the United States. Is anyone absolutely terrified at what could possibly happen in the near future? This is from Multifamily Madness. And this is, the Fed is hiking further and faster than at any time in modern history. This is the change in federal funds rate since hiking began. Okay. So you can see they did go pretty steep back there in 87, 89 and in 04, 06. But this is the furthest and the fastest in modern history right now taking place. And you can see here, they took us up nearly to 4% now. Okay, but they're still battling this inflation. The inflation's still running hot, still running 7%. They're claiming that they've been able to bring it back, but the reality on the streets tells you a different situation. Now, this is what I titled this session though, right? Generational wealth opportunities unlocked in 2023. What this is doing, folks, is this is going to make the businesses go bust, and this is going to flip real estate upside down. This is going to be a complete meltdown and cool off of the real estate. I mean, to put it lightly, a cool off of the real estate market. from Global Macro right here. Just got off the phone with a long-established private lender and that he is known for 20 years. Quote, 2023 is going to be very tough for real estate. I will leave it at that. I don't want to depress people anymore. So folks, this is the situation. This is the opportunities that I'm talking about that are going to be unlocked. They're already started, but into next year, real estate, folks, we're about to have another real estate and another prepping session within my Discord group. And we're talking about deals in there. And then we're talking about this real estate situation. But I'm going to be dropping some more real estate content here for the YouTube channel as well, because I think we're coming into an incredible opportunity for those of you that are ready to move on real estate. For me personally, like I said, I've just been ready to move here. Patience though, waiting for it to come down, waiting for it to dry out. And I hadn't seen enough pain in the market yet for me to really swoop in yet, okay? But what I am going to be talking about on this YouTube channel with you guys about in regards to real estate is how we build out our relationships and team so that we're ready to strike. It's much more than just, I stacked some money on the side for a down payment for my first deal or whatever. It's about building those relationships and the team to allow you to go in and execute very strategically when you want to make your precise airstrike attack when you see the opportunity that presents itself for you. And building a team and infrastructure that's going to last too, an investment portfolio that is going to be able to survive and thrive during this higher interest rate environment. Just because the rates have gone up doesn't mean that we can't continue to do business and do deals. It just means that the price has to reflect that. The terms of the conditions have to reflect that. Whether you're buying real estate, whether you're buying a business, the terms have to reflect the current market conditions, and the price does too. And so that's all to our favor. I mean, guys, this is your time to shine. This is your time to kill it out there. Whether it's business, real estate, whatever opportunity, business sector you're in, the disruption taking place is going to be massive. The opportunities unlocked in the next year, I think, are going to be incredible in real estate. But same thing's going to happen in business too, because interest rates affecting business and real estate so much. These are debt-driven asset classes, okay, especially real estate. And a lot of people are feeling the pain already. Those that didn't lock in their interest rates are feeling the pain. Now, you can find guys that are still making it work and are still doing great during this time with their real estate. They probably locked in their rates, right? And they're very cash flow positive, and they have sufficient reserves to get them through any crisis. I know, guys. I mean, we're surrounding ourselves with people that are still doing the deals, still getting it done right now as we speak. But then you're seeing what's happening to the rest of the space. The rest of the space is feeling the pain, and I think the opportunity gets better for us into next year as well. Okay, now that's going to be coming. And like I said, we got 2 sessions coming up in our Discord group on real estate, and then another one on prepping. I want to make sure we got it covered, because you're not going to be able to make and get deals done if you don't got the prepping and essentials done too. So it's not sexy, it's not attractive, it doesn't get a bunch of views. But within our Discord group, we can talk about it more in depth too, about all of the strategies, right? And then the real estate one, we'll have a real session here where we're talking about deals that we're looking at right now. But it's important that we understand that right now is going to be a massive opportunity unlock for those of you that are prepared. And what we're doing, we're about to tokenize everything. This all relates even back to real estate. I can't wait to see what's going to come here. All the industry, all of these industries moving to tokenization. This is from Anthony Welfare. He's the CBDC guy at Ripple. We are in a world where you can literally tokenize anything from commodities to financial assets, real estate, wine, cars, art, and many more. We are even exploring tokenizing time and tokenizing expertise, guys. I mean, everything in this world, this fourth industrial revolution, as we tokenize everything of data, they're really setting this thing up, and Ripple leading the way, co-sponsoring UCL CBT Enterprise Digital Assets Report. And this is a report put out by Ripple for the different applications of tokenized value and how enterprises can leverage digital assets. Massive at the forefront of tokenizing anything, commodities, financial assets, real estate, wine, cars, art, and many more, folks. I mean, this is where it's at too, because it's easier now than ever to get the money. That was a big holdup for a lot of people because they injected a record amount of liquidity into the system. So there's plenty of dollars out there in circulation that are looking for yield, looking for safety. And this is what gets interesting, though, is the deals are going to have to change, because why would you invest in a 5 cap real estate deal when the bonds are paying you damn near, what were they paying, 4%, 5% right now, right? So why would you take on a 4 or 5 cap or even a 6 or a 7 cap with all of that inherent risk if you could just buy a bond and get paid 4 or 5% as well too? So this is where we're getting to an interesting inflection point in real estate. I think incredible opportunities about to be unlocked, but then being able to tokenize real estate deals, syndications, tokenize your business, be able to fund your business. And this is for the real ones are going to have all this opportunity unlocked for them. But the shills, the bad actors, that's what's been going on, and that's going to continue. People are going to continue to take advantage of this open source permissionless technology to fund their bad business ideas, to fund their failures. Maybe they're good guys. Maybe they got a good project. Maybe it's kind of cute. And you're seeing all the XRP Ledger tokens got a cute story, little neat utility, got something to sell you, right? They're not going to make it. Like, some of them just won't make it, though. They will fail. But the opportunity is there, and it's going to be unlocked right now. You guys are seeing it, okay, as this recession continues on. Let the rest of the crowd, let the rest of the masses debate whether we're in a recession or not, while we understand the situation and we're ready to strike on the deals as they present themselves, from business, real estate, all the way here to our crypto assets that have been slaughtered, right? Well, while the FTX drama is the focus of everyone looking at crypto right now, watching all the drama, watching the documentaries, watching the new Amazon series or the new Netflix script, instead of creating your own deal, getting your own business going, be ready to strike on real estate over the next year, guys. It's not easy, right? It's easy to stay caught up on the drama. It's easy to stay tapped in, scrolling on Twitter and TikTok all day and not get anything done. But this is where I'm encouraging you guys. If you want to join our Discord group, you get unlimited access to the business development program. As I release it, the Discord group is getting it as well. And I am there to help you guys out as well. I've been talking about this for well over a year now, about getting your side hustle going, getting your business started, and how to grow your business, right? And then just figuring out how to get more money coming in, because we knew the opportunities were coming. Cash on the sidelines, whether you want to invest in crypto, real estate, whether you are starting your side hustle, your business, you need the cash. You need the money to invest. You need the money to buy these deals as they come live. The blood in the streets has to be bought up by someone. Why not you? Okay. Continuing on. How about this? Got a few fun ones to finish off here. Stack of the day, hashtag silver. This is from Wall Street Silver. I don't know. This is from... Wall Street Silver here, Reddit post. Someone's safe. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that. They are ready to take care of this generational wealth opportunity right here. That is a massive stack of silver. Doesn't really compare to my little 10-ounce bars over here. Those 100-ounce bars are looking awesome, man. Those things are just massive, like bricks. I need to get me some bricks. Okay, now I wanted to show you guys this one. This one's from Dr. Fender. So it begins, the masterpiece number 4. The ones know, XRP in a yearly time frame. We will win. Enjoy. Folks, check this one out, okay? What we have right here is the 1-year chart for XRP. That's an interesting one here. Each candle formed is a 1-year candle. Okay, so you can see there we had a green year in 2013. Then we basically had 3 down years, 2014, 15, and 16, before we have a massive explosion in 2017, right? Massive explosion. Then we get another basically 2 years of retracement, 2018, 2019, and then in 2020 we bottom before we move back on up. That March 2020 is when we hit our lows. Or actually, that may have been after the lawsuit was filed, now that I think about it. Might have been actually the date that the lawsuit was filed. Or no, it did go low. I can't remember if it was after the lawsuit was filed or if it was March 2020 when it bottomed out. But nonetheless, in 2020 there we bottomed out, and that's where we have support going for 3 years now, which takes us to 2021, and then we have finished off here, about to finish off the 2022 candle, okay? But you can see where this thing goes, 2023, 2024, into 2025, that wave there. That third wave into 2025 is taking us probably close up there to 3 digits, right? I mean, 240. Yeah. So that would be 256 is where he has the third wave going in 2025. Third wave takes us up to 256. That's a beautiful little masterpiece, and that retracement will bring us back. And then that fifth wave, which is probably taking us into 2030, has us moving up in above 600 and even above 1,000. So that fifth wave, probably reaching out towards 2030. Yeah, it looks like 2029, 2030. That's when we're looking at breaking above 1,500 on this masterpiece number 4 from Dark Defender. This is not financial advice. I'm showing you somebody's art, somebody's masterpiece here, but it definitely looks beautiful to me. And I'm just looking at this thing, just seeing that beautiful support that we've had for 3 years. And when you look at the XRP suppression, that wedge that it's been trading in, you see that this thing's just absolutely ready to rip to the upside and just melt faces. I mean, double digits is going to be easily done, and it's going to be life-changing at a $5 or a $10 price. So, that's what's fun about this investment, is understanding that even if we're mostly wrong about how big, how many trillions are going to settle on this thing, I mean, it's still going to somewhere nice, and it's going to be a life-changing opportunity. And the beautiful thing is, and I was hoping for this last bull run. Obviously, I wanted to see XRP catch, a pump to finish off the bull run. We didn't get that because I planned on taking some of my, just skimming a little off the top so that I had the ability to diversify, because I went full degenerate over the past 3 years, all in on XRP exclusively, like pretty much. And then I have a few other cryptos too. But for me, I wanted to not only be able to diversify within crypto a little bit more, I wanted some for real estate, some for business as well. But at this point, we're just continue to stack, and we've been able to grow our portfolio, right? We've been able to stack our silver, and then I have my cash on the sidelines for real estate deals coming online this next year. And then I'm also taking on and continue to grow the businesses as well. That's just been just a nonstop linear growth. And then, as I talked about in the third installment of my business development program, talking about internal versus external growth, when I had opportunities with my business for external growth, I took advantage of that. And that's when you see big bumps, but they were sustainable. That's when you saw the pumps. Comparing my business to the XRP price chart right here, I've never been suppressed. We've hit some plateaus for sure, but generally speaking, we've been continuing moving on up too. And so that's put us in a unique position right here where we're still cash flow positive and reserves on the sidelines, ready to move on deals. And I want you guys to be in that same spot as well, which is why we've been talking about our program here. Our program, how's your program working out? And we don't have all the answers, and we're not here for financial advice, but I'm sharing with you what I've done to get to this point and what I'm going to do going forward, right? So if you guys are looking to get tapped in, like I said, business development program is included with your Discord membership. And I did want to read off this testimony here from someone in our family here that for those of you guys that saw here, make sure you guys understand, we're running a special right now where if you pay for your Discord membership a year up front, you get a 16% discount. And if you do it by the end of the year, I'm going to include a free 30-minute one-on-one conversation with myself. So if you've ever wanted to have a one-on-one sit down with myself, I'm kind of throwing this in. If you get it done by the end of the year, you sign up for the Patreon, it gets you access to the Discord group, and you pay for a year up front, you get that 16% discount. And I've now included a free one-on-one session so that we can talk about your business, investments, your life, or just shoot the shit, whatever you want to do. But I wanted to read you guys this testimony right here that I just got from someone in the family. Charge my card for the year, please. Hands down, best money I have ever spent. My outlook on life has changed over the last few years. I am forever grateful that you stuck in my head. It's not easy doing what you do. You help me and my thoughts stay on track. You carry a heavy load. This is your true calling. I've said for a long time now, if Ripple recruits you, couldn't happen to a more deserving candidate. You give the truth, which also provides hope. This is your time with me. This is your time. We love your heart. And we've had some people take advantage of this deal, and like I said, it's it's fun to be able to help here, and it shows me that we're right on target. She says this is your calling, and I just think it is so important here that we continue to show up, spread this message. I've been trying to get out content to you guys every day for 2 years now, but then on a higher, more advanced level, trying to bring value now to my Discord group. And so if you guys are looking to get tapped in, you can sign up at the website, zachrector.com. You sign up on Patreon, that gets you access to the Discord group, and we're running a special right now where you can get 16% off and line up a one-on-one session with myself included. So this deal will end at the end of the year. And once again, I just appreciate all of you guys that have been helping me grow this community, grow in the family, and all of your support means the world to me, okay? So if you can do me a favor on the way out, just smash that thumbs up for me and continue to watch here, like I said, at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time tonight. Citizen of the Future, my interview with him is going to be dropping. My interview of Citizen of the Future, where I just let him go off, man. An hour and a half of utility, facts, knowledge. I think he's one of the best researchers within the game too. So make sure you guys tune in tonight. And for those of you guys that like the deep dive secret sauce on all the connections that are being made, this guy laid it down. So hope you guys enjoy that one. And like I said, XDC Deep Dive is going to be dropping on Christmas as well. That one's for the community. And then, if you guys are looking to get tapped in, it's all on over at my website, okay? I appreciate all of you guys so much, and hope you guys are enjoying your holidays, your Christmas. It's going to be a fun one, and we're going to make it out of this storm, and we're going to definitely take advantage of this opportunity. Thank you all, okay? God bless you guys. We'll see you.